This is the first mini lecture for section 3.2 from the textbook. In this section we're going to talk about the algorithms for addition and subtraction in base 10. When we represent the addition algorithm in base 10, we have four ways of doing that. We can use math strips and units, we can use place value cards, we can use a place value diagram, or we can use the instructional algorithm. These are used to represent the work that is performed in the final algorithm, which is what you probably learned in grade school. For simplicity, when we want to illustrate math strips and units, like I have drawn here, instead of drawing the whole 10 by 10 mat every time, we're just going to use a square. And instead of drawing the 1 by 10 strip every time, we're just going to use a stick. And then for the little unit, we're just going to use a dot. Okay, but the square represents the mat, the stick represents the strip, the dot represents the unit. So just keep that in mind as we go through this section. Okay, so first let's try to illustrate 147 plus 69 using math strips and units. And I begin by just drawing the three numerals using the manipulatives, the math strips and units. Okay, so I have one mat, four strips, and 7 units. Plus 6 strips and 9 units. Okay, next step, I just put them together into one group. And so I'm just combining at this point. I have one mat now, and 4 plus 6 or 10 strips. And 7 plus 9 units, or 16 units in all. Okay, so here I just combined them. Okay, next step, I need to regroup a little bit. See, I'm only allowed to have up to 9 of each type of object. And I have way too many units. I have 16 here, but I'm only allowed to have up to 9. So what I'm going to do is take 10 of those units and exchange them for one strip. So I'm going to exchange 10 units for one strip. So now I have my one mat and 11 strips. And we still have our 6 units left over. Now I'm going to take 10 of my strips and exchange them for one mat. And that leaves me with 2 mats, 1 strip, and 6 units. Now let me emphasize something here. When you're doing this on the homework or when you're doing them on an exam, what's really important is that you show all the work. So these intermediate steps that really count. I know that you know how to add numbers like this and get the correct answer. Okay, but if you just show me these two numbers and the answer, you're not showing what you need to show. What you need to show is how you use the math strips and units to get the final result. How do you actually use those to do that? First you have to combine, and then you have to make two exchanges. And unless you show all of that on your paper, I can't tell if you know how to do this. So the point here is to show me that you understand how to use math strips and units to instruct students.